In today's video, we're going to be recreating Reborn with a little bit of our own spin. So I have a special guest, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name's Yogi, other Hitman Reborn creator here.
Yeah, I feel like we're like the Hitman Avengers, honestly, because I feel like I've met a lot of them. So that's, you're saying, definitely shout out Yogi's channel and whatnot. We've actually done a video together with a couple other Reborn content creators, so that was really cool. Check that out. That'll be in the description. But so today, you know, like I said earlier, we're going to be going over just kind of looking at Reborn and recreating it, because I've talked, I feel like ad nauseum about Reborn. Now it's a great series with like some slight tweaks that could be fixed and whatnot. And then I thought, like, we might as well really discuss the series and what about the series could be fixed to be. It's like, it has a lot of the promise to be there, but what do you think about that, Yogi?
Yeah, I definitely think it could, definitely be a lot better. The anime was good, it was good, but definitely could have been a lot better.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, so we gotta think about, like, I don't even know about what studio, but let's just say for, like, the point of the argument that they're, like, I think, isn't, what studio is Bleach a part of? Like, the 1,000-Year Blood War, the new, I don't know if you've been watching Bleach. I think it's Studio Period.
I'll be honest, I have not watched Bleach. Like, I read the manga, but I never really, like, got too much into it.
Okay. No, that's straight. I'm just you seen like some new clips of, or some clips about like the new Bleach anime? Have you? Or if not,
yeah, I've seen the stuff. It definitely looks nice.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is we're creating the perfect anime right now, the perfect Reborn anime. So I think the easiest part we can go to is like the animation. I think like if you want to look at like Demon Slayer, Fire Force, and even like the new Bleach, that's how good we need. Like I need like Tsuna's fire to really look like the best fire we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like Yamamoto's water, his rain flame should look like better than our water in real life. So I think that's a pretty good idea of how it's gonna look. Then also, I guess
it's Studio Poro.
It's who for Bleach?
It's Studio Poro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know they was like that. That's funny. Okay.
That's crazy. Every single time I see them, they're either so hit or miss. They either do something that looks so weird, or they just make the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. So we gonna hope that they giving us the greatest thing ever for Reborn, because that would be really nice. Yeah. So the way we're gonna do this video is we're gonna do this in chronological order for the most part, right? So we're gonna kind of go arc by arc and kind of talk about how the arc could have been fixed, or the tweaks we think could have been made for the series for it to be better. So yeah. We talked a little bit about this for a little off video, but for the intro, so I know there's a lot of contention. Like, y'all don't even gotta talk about it. For the first arc, I think it's the first 20. It's like the first 24. I want to say episodes.
19 episodes.
At 19 episodes, you're right. And then like, I don't know how many. It's like maybe 10, 20 chapters somewhere in there, right? It's
like chapters. It's like 60.
It's 60. Yeah, it's 60. So they really So they're kind of going. Yeah.
Chapters.
Bro, that part is kind of funny too, because I'm not gonna lie. I feel like overall, rewatching the series, I've rewatched Reborn a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie, it's at least like 5. I kind of enjoyed like knowing what you know later on. I kind of enjoy those initial moments where we kind of it's character building, But I do think a lot of people dislike them, and we actually talked about this a little bit. You can kind of flesh this out too. I don't even want to get rid of all the episodes. I think even if you cut it in half, or even like cut it from like, I think it's let's say 24 episodes, 19 episodes to like 5 episodes, or like 10, but within those last 5 you can kind of start bringing up the points, kind of building things up, so we're going somewhere. But what do you think on that? That's yeah.
The hard part is like, because I always thought about this, like, okay, if you're gonna redo it, how do you do it while also keeping the characters that you need to know for like just getting to like when we get to Blue Girl, right? And it's like at least over like 12 characters you need to introduce. I'm thinking, okay, maybe if you put 2 characters per episode, you can definitely cut that 19 in half to about 9 or 10, and then kind of start going from there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that should be a good amount.
Yeah, because I think some of those episodes do matter. I guess like it's kind of hard. Like some characters, and I've watched the first couple episodes a long time ago. Sometimes I'll even skip them because it's like I know these guys. I don't need to go back, and when I rewatch it, I don't need to start there. I'll start like at the Varia Arc, because that's like, or I guess the Muguro Arc is a better example, because that's when stuff is starting to hit the fan, right? Some of the characters, like, you can show them for a couple scenes, and that's like Goku Dera's sister. I'm pretty sure there's episodes early on where she's in a lot of it. She don't gotta be a main. And this is Bianca, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca. She cool. She don't gotta be in she don't gotta be a main part of any episode early on. Like, she can be kind of sprinkled out throughout the episode. She's not really filler, but Like I don't think she takes up any of the like some of the characters we see. They're important, but they don't need to be like necessarily like the main part. Like there was definitely at least 2 episodes I can think of that Bianca was like the main villain or just a main, not main villain, but like she's a main part of it. I don't think that needs to happen, for instance.
Like I was like, because if they're gonna do it, it's like, you know, obviously her introduction, you know, she's trying to kill Tsuna, all that. You keep that, you know, you establish her that she's gonna be around. That's cool, you know.
That's it.
Same thing, kind of establish the power set too, but like obviously they got to be there for the Muka arc because they got to show up there. So like you have to at least know they're there. Facts. Like a reason why they want to help. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. So I think that could work out pretty well. Just kind of showing them a little bit, just to give us an idea. But this is Goku's sister. Like this is this person, and we can kind of get an idea. And then meanwhile, like obviously we have this whole like the initial part is Tsuna kind of doing random tasks in Dying World mode, so that has to already exist. But I want to say like we could do like you could even do kind of foreshadowing of some things, right? Where you could have maybe the night, like we could have a flashback scene, like for instance the Tsuna and the scene where Tsuna in the 9th, like that could have been sprinkled in earlier in this year. I think that like that's kind of a random scene, but if you show it earlier in the series, because it was shown later in the Varia arc, right, where I think also a remake will also help problems like this, right, where I think sometimes something that Reborn struggles with is that it seems a little convenient with some things. Like for instance, we're gonna get there, but the Simone arc, some of the stuff in the Simone arc are just like, oh wow, we're just now seeing the 9th like guardians, or we're just now seeing, we're just now finding out that Simone and Giotto were best friends. Like obviously, I think that's something you have. Like that is where early episodes is gonna help. So that is a time when we can see. So I think that's how we would do it. So it would be like, oh well, Suna's like, man, where's my dad? Like he'd bring that up early on. It's like, oh yeah, your dad is blah blah blah, and you don't have to mention he's a part of the Vongola. I think that's a big relative thing, or a big kind of like surprise or whatever. But kind of reference him having like beef with his dad, because we don't even know that until like the manga, right? Where he's like, I don't like my dad, he was a deadbeat. That'd be cool. Yeah,
because like when he shows up, I think he's like he always thought like his dad was dead, because like his mom just said like, oh yeah, he went to be like go with the stars and stuff. Like, I just thought that meant he was dead.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So kind of touching on that, bringing that up, so we could have the scene where Kasuna and the 9th, they have a pretty good relationship, and we know the 9th like Reborn respects 9th. Well, pretty good as in like he met him when he was a kid. Suna's dad is really close with the 9th. Like Suna's Reborn's really close with the 9th. So like that is a connection we should touch on more. Even if Tsuna would be like, oh, like we could even show Tsuna like treating like the 9th as his grandpa, and he doesn't even know that he's like the Vongola, and then we as the viewers don't even know early on. So I think that could be some stuff that we see in the first 9 to 12 episodes that would be really nice, since it's going to be more fillery anyway.
Maybe like a moment like maybe he like has like a little flashback, kind of like remembering him at that moment, like like, oh yeah, like he just talks about his grandpa in a good way, but he doesn't know like he's the 9th. I think that kind of not covers up most of it, but that we're gonna see the Hibaris of the world and Goku Dare, Ryohei. We're gonna see all the guys at Lambo. That stuff can stay. We need that. That's super important. I wouldn't ever get rid of that stuff. Like we need to know the Guardians. The Mukuro arc, besides that, is pretty. You know who I need? I think we need to see again. Lancia, Lance. Bro, please, dude,
he was bro.
He was so bad, dude.
Bro,
it's so cool too. Especially like in the Varia arc, they start talking about him. Like, wait a minute, this is the strongest guy in the North. Like,
yes,
like,
bro.
I think it was like almost a moment too. Like, maybe he could have joined the Varia too. And it's like, bro, like I need to know more about those. I just need to see him more.
And the thing with the Reborn thing is, like, sometimes I don't even want to touch the story too much, right? I don't want to like change things, like have him join the Varia, but he needs to be in the series. I'm not gonna lie, especially the fact that, again, he was like he was pretending to be Mukuro. He gave Tsuna the ring, a ring which ended up saving the bro's life. Like it matters too much. Like he's like that. I'm not gonna. And I think one of the issues that Reborn has as well is the fact that we had all these little families that we really didn't, besides the Vongola and like Simone and stuff, a lot of families weren't touched upon. Like we don't see Lambo's family a lot. Like Lancia, we don't see a lot of those we don't see a lot of those mafia branches a lot. And I think that would be really good to see and even touch upon more.
I'm gonna say, speaking real quick about Lambo's family, a thing I would really love them to do and keep is like, I want them to do Shoichi's thing, like how they did it in the manga, where like he shows up at the beginning during the daily life arcs, and then he just kind of disappears until the end, and then you realize, wait a second, this is that guy from all the way back then. I want them to do that for the anime, because I just think that was really cool. How it's just like brought him back out of nowhere, as if like, oh yeah, like that small little thing that you thought was crazy, like nothing, like oh yeah, that's actually a big thing.
Yeah, honestly, and this is gonna be kind of crazy because the way I always used Reborn, I watched it off through the anime, right? So I watched the anime, and then it ended, and I was like, oh, it's over, and I was like, wait, no, there's manga. So I've always, even on rewatches, and I probably have to go back and actually do this. I've always watched the anime until the anime ends, and then I'll read the manga for the last 2 arcs. So stuff like that I didn't know about. Like I didn't even know. I think that when Goku dare his like Vongola X form, it's actually a cigarette. I didn't know Goku dare he smoked cigarettes. I never knew that. So it's stuff like that would be cool for sure.
Also, another thing too, when Tsuna fights Ryohei at the beginning too, you know, Ryohei gets hit with the dying wheel bullet, but then he gets the sun flame on his head. Yeah. So as you were saying, they can like kind of hint towards the dying wheel flames by giving him a sun flame there.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
These flames weren't really. Yeah, they weren't planned out at the beginning, but now that we know about it, once you get to this moment, just put a sun flame on his head. Boom, small little change, done.
Yeah,
automatically just going.
I agree with that. For the Varia arc, I think like Xanxus is pretty good. I don't think you need to touch on him much. I think we don't need to know where he came from. I think that him and his.
I think he's fine.
I think he's fine too. I think if you want to throw like the Squallow and Xanxus like scenes, Squallow has like, we know that he was supposed to be the Varia boss. So that you could throw a little bit more scenes to that, but I think that's fine. Maybe because you know how we have the stuff where he's training like he's fighting all the swordsmen to be the best like swordsmen in the future arc. We find out about that.
Yeah.
Throw that in there. That's got to go in the Varia arc. That would be nice. Besides that, 25-year-old Lambo's got to come back. It's easy, bro. That
you can't. You have to.
Getting him one time is crazy.
Lambo. Like I really do like Lambo, but like you can't just have like this 5-year-old be a guardian and then just not like bring him out. Like at that point, it's like, why is he the guardian? You know?
Yeah, it's like Lambo as a character. I don't have a problem with him at all. Pretty much, I think 15-year-old Lambo came out enough. I understand you not wanting to bring out 25-year-old Lambo too much, but I think it'd be cool for him to be in the series more. Like he could come out in the Varia. He came out one time. That's fine. I think he could come out in like the Inheritance arc maybe once or something. Well, maybe not the Inheritance. No. Make him come out for the
maybe like in the last arc.
Yes, I was about to say
like
the Bermuda.
Yeah,
because he'd be like, I think. It's hard because you don't want to delve in. It's hard to delve into the 20-year-old future thing. But what we could do,
right? Because the 20-year-old one, that's like tougher too.
Yeah,
like, he has to jump into that bazooka twice. For
exactly.
It. So, like, they don't even need to bring 20 out that much, but like at least bring 15-year-old Lambo out.
Yeah, for sure. I think off of how it should be, the 25-year-old Lambo, it seems like he's from the timeline with like he basically grew up in the Byakuran timeline. You know, Byakuran like messed up the future and stuff. So 10 years past that, so we could have like maybe he could touch upon when he comes back in like after the future arc, he could like talk about like, yo, Tsuna, you really changed the future for me. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So that'd be kind of cool. Because his future would change if that's the case. The Varia arc is pretty good. I don't think that there needs to be much. Besides that, don't need to be much changes, honestly.
Yeah, I think the Varia arc is like already good. I guess also the thing, you know, just for the overall, just, you know, maybe like not like leave it uncensored. You know, we should be able to see the blood and stuff too. You know?
For sure,
that really, you know, would help.
It's not so, that they
almost
should
like that where Tsuna like cuts the golden mosque in half, you know, and the knife just falls out. You gotta have the blood there too. It's like,
man, I gotta find some of these clips, bro, because I think the anime sold me. Some of these scenes I don't know.
Like they're good, but like, you know, I just need to see it like all gruesome, you know, like as it is.
Oh, for sure. The future arc, I feel like the future arc was a little like, I love Reborn, but I think in comparison to the other arcs, it might have been, I think it was a little more convoluted, bro. I can't lie. Just thinking about it, like, I think the future arc especially brings like, for instance, like the gingerbread, right? That guy. He came across the thing like, like I don't, you know, we don't need him, you know.
I still have questions about this, specifically because of like the final arc of the manga that really like put it into question. But before that, with the future arc, it's like, okay, you know, it's a guy just using a doll, you know, like the doll died, but then we kind of see like his real body and all that too. But then the you know, the final battle, the Curse of the Rainbow arc happened, and then you saw it again. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, like where did this come from?
That's what I'm saying. So
like, it just put the question.
Yeah, I think, and I ranked like the Reborn villains a couple like months ago, And because obviously there's like the real funeral rafts and there's the fake ones. The fake ones, I understand the idea. I don't know if we need them in the sense of like.
I like the idea of them being fake ones, you know, in real
Yeah.
ones. But like, there was not enough time to
There's
like
no
really like
exactly
show us the real ones, you know. And that's what we need. Definitely, they need to give us some more stuff on them.
because I do like I do like how Byakuran, like they all were supposed to be these like live these great lives, and for one reason or another they basically lived terrible ones, and Byakuran saved them, and that's why they're under him. Flesh that out a little bit. Like we can have an episode each for them. It's like really going into like, yo, my life was tough, and like my life is, and it can even be something where, I mean, make Byakuran really effed up, like really make him cause it, because he you know, he has the marrings. He goes into those timelines and he messes it up for in this current timeline, you know, and he's basically ensuring that they're gonna work under him. That'd be kind of crazy. Flesh them out because
we got that with
yeah.
Yeah, we got that with Genkashi, because it was like his whole story was like, oh yeah, he was like traveling, and then he got some like disease that literally just could not be cured. But then like Byakuran showed up and like cured him for it, and that's why he follows him so much.
Exactly.
It's just like, oh, that's like a really cool story. Like, yeah, like the guy who can like look into all these other parallel universes would have a cure to something that we wouldn't.
Yeah,
so
because
yeah,
it's like he has all the cancers,
but I
exactly.
want you to work for me.
Yeah, so
Like,
exactly,
so good.
exactly. So it's like, I think that would kind of add to the mystique of Byakuran, you know, where it's kind of, honestly, this might be a little far fetched, kind of similar to what you were saying, where we had a character where he's in the show early on and it doesn't matter until later. Let's see early Byakuran, because we see him later anyway. And the only reason that we see him in the inheritance arc and he has powers is because he retained all of the knowledge from the future arc. At least that's how I always saw it, because we didn't see him earlier before the future, you know?
Because he's kind of old too. Because
Yeah.
like when he's in college, well, is he? No,
He's older than Tsuna, because he was like,
he is around.
because he was like, I think when they were fighting, he was like,
yeah, well, I
yo.
mean, he's older than Tsuna there, but I feel like, yeah, I guess he would. That's kind of weird to me though. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I was thinking because like, you know, he went to college when Shoichi went to college, and I was thinking like, you know, Shoichi was the same age as Tsuna, so I figured, no, okay, he would probably be the same age. But no, yeah, Byakuran's a little bit older.
Yeah, but even like, and he could have powers too. That's fair. But even just showing him pre to the future arc, because then we've like, it could be a similar thing. You know how like Shoichi, we saw him, right? He could, because they were friends, right? That was confirmed. So we could see like a scene where it's just a random scene where, oh, the Shoichi and Byakuran, they're random. We don't. This is before the future arc. We don't care. And then it's like, yo, who is that? Who we think it is? And it's like, oh snap, he took over the world in 10 years. Like that would. And then the fact that he has these funeral rafts, which he changed the timeline to work under him, would be crazy. Because some of the funeral rafts are kind of like, especially Ghost, him just basically like, he didn't do anything. That was not good.
I like it. It's a cool idea. I do like how it's like, oh, it's another Byakuran, because it's like, you know, the guy has like, oh, I can look in a parallel universe.
Oh yeah.
Thought, okay, what if I just took another version of me from one? But then it was like, oh no, that was a bad idea. It kind of messed that up, and I think it destroyed like the other one's world, the Ghost world. I think that was destroyed in the process with that.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, it's still a cool idea how like it's like you just have another version of him, and he's like linked to you. So it's just like, I like it, you know.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else you would really do with it, I guess. You know?
Yeah, and I don't even think you need to get rid of him. I think that one, you could kind of show like, because the future arc was long from what I remember. It's pretty long. Like you could have an episode.
It's definitely it is the longest one, but I think a lot of the reason why people don't like it is because the anime made it even longer, because the filler arcs were there too, and it was them going back to the past, then back to the future, then back to the past again, then back to the future again. And I think that really like messed up the pacing.
Yeah. So, again, this is coming from an anime only future arc watcher, so again, hold it with some grains of salt. So yeah, that is true. But I think even like one episode of like, we see the Ghost like with the timeline he's from, Byakuran takes him, and then at the end of the episode, Ghost is like, I'll do whatever you say, like you're a part of me or whatever, right? We see how they're linked, and we see like Ghost, his reality plate, like where he's from, his universe is basically crumbles and destroys. And then also, can Ghost get a fight? I think Ghost getting at least a fight and maybe talking would be kind of cool, like kind of flesh him out a little bit.
I mean, if I would say if Ghost gets a fight, he has to be like, they got to make him physical. So like, I guess they can still do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he'd be called Ghost at that point, though.
Yeah.
Because like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, you can't touch him at all, but like, and he's just gonna suck up all the energy everyone's dying will flame. You know?
Yeah.
Tsuna beat him because he had
the 0 point breakthrough. Yeah.
Dying will point provide. Yeah, that's the only reason why I even really want.
That's true, but yeah, if Ghost, I think Ghost can, if they don't want to touch Ghost, we don't have to like go into it. But the other funeral wraps for sure need to be like, we need to touch on them, like kind of give them an episode or two to really flesh them out. Maybe have them, because they also kind of got beaten in when you get beaten in your first fight and you like kind of disappear or kill, it's never great for like the fear factor, because they're supposed to be the big boss. Like the whole point, I mean, one of the things that Reborn loves to do is they'll love to take Tsuna's guardians and Tsuna and have them fight a new group and whatnot. Like that happens a lot, and I feel like in the future arc it would kind of happen, but it was like you know, like they were just kind of used for the Vongola to be like, here's our Cambio Forma, and it's like like give them a fight before if you want them to get beat that way.
Like they had the choice battle, but like we obviously, that wasn't like everyone was fighting there. If it was like everyone was fighting, then that'd be a different story. You know, that could like show us the power and stuff. You know, and then obviously you keep the whole they lose thing. So I guess you know, that loss still feels so much like cheating, but still, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
it was yeah, that was
whatever, you know.
Yeah, that the choice arc. I mean, how do you feel about that, honestly? Because that's like one of those things that you kind of forget.
Well, everyone always calls it the choice arc. Honestly, I never really considered it an arc. I just consider all the future arc just as the future arc. But like, I guess if you want to consider it arc, it's but like, I like it. I do. You know, because like we get to see like more of the training and stuff. We get to see some of the Cambio Formas there. That's pretty cool. Yamamoto gets a cool moment. I wish Goku there kind of got a cooler moment too. You know, he goes against like Kokuyo. Yeah, I think it's one of those. He kind of goes against him, you know, and I think like Kokuyo is supposed to be like the strongest one, basically. You know, so like, I don't know, he doesn't have to win the fight, but like I kind of wish he kind of did a little more.
Yeah, overall
it was fine.
I think that'd be nice.
The ending was definitely kind of surprising and shocking, you know, no matter, even if it was kind of cheating in a way, but still it was definitely shocking.
Yeah, so we can keep that. I'm not gonna lie, I love how Reborn, how the future Guardians kind of slowly revert to their present self. Like Hibari, perfect. Future Hibari, I have no complaints. Like he was amazing. He did everything he needed to do. Future Goku, I think like all of them were pretty good. What are your thoughts on us never really seeing Future Tsuna though? I think that's like a thing that people. It's not a problem. I just am curious on where you
like not seeing his face. I mean, I get it. You know, it was like, you know, kind of getting it there, like kind of teasing people with it. You know, like I get it. Maybe like you can keep the first few teases, but maybe like at the end of the arc when he like shows up in the forest, maybe show it just there, like just that one time, few seconds, couple second shot, and then boom. You know, that's good.
I think that, or even I think like it would just be a little bit longer than that. I think would be cool. Would be he could talk to like future Goku, because they're future Goku there. He'd be like, it worked out pretty well. You know, say something cool where it's like we Tsuna, like have Tsuna like show that he planned out the entire thing. It was perfect. You know.
Yeah, because like no one knew that besides like Hibari and Shoichi and them.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I guess the only other thing, I guess with this, like, kind of goes into the whole choice a little bit, like at the end, when like, you know, Shoichi already got shot and everything, and he's like explaining his connection to Byakuran and all that, how he kind of gave him the powers, or how he figured out the powers because of him.
Yeah,
you know, that's cool. I like all that. You know, the parallel world stuff. Some of it can be kind of confusing, but I feel like I think it's pretty simple. But the only confusing part is like the whole, like, this is the only one that he hasn't taken control of part.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he said something where it's like, okay, well, like, why? It's like, well, because this is the one where box weapons existed or something. It was something weird. It was like, this is the only universe where this one thing exists. And it's just like, I don't know, like, how I really felt about that. So I feel like if they could, like, find out some better way of, like, at least figuring out how he knows this is the only one that doesn't. I really just need an answer to that, you know, I guess. Something like a good answer to that.
The next two arcs, I think, need simultaneously less but also more work, in the sense of, to me, these are the best two arcs in Reborn. I always say this. I don't know if everyone agrees with me, but that's where I kind of stand with them. But I think they also need a lot of work, if that makes sense. I think the huge elephant in the room, well, two elephants in the room, two equally sized elephants. The Simone arc, the Simone family should be a family that we know of. It could be like or not know of, but like Giotto should mention. We have to have heard of them
at some point.
Mention, and even you could even have it be like the ninth is like talking to the ninth is like in his studies for a random episode. And he's like Well, or he could be like, oh, the Simone thing. He's like, the Simone family. He reads in the book. He's like, oh, I don't know, because I think he even says like he doesn't know much about them. So they got to be mentioned that they're like mentioned that they're a family that was wiped out, and we don't know why. That's that, and then we know that Simone has to be friends with Giotto. Those are two things need to happen. And the last thing that's more important, if you gonna do this, the Flames of the Earth, we gotta get them somewhere earlier than this arc, in my opinion.
It's so interesting because like I do like them as a concept, but like they give us so many questions,
So many questions.
Are these things just always around? How do they work? Is it like a dual wave energy? Is it a different kind of energy? I saw one person that said like maybe their rings acts like a prism, like how light goes through it and like changes colors and stuff, and maybe like they do have regular dying wheel energy of like sky stuff, but the rings itself are turning into the Earth's wind. And it's like, okay, that would be cool, but like like we don't know for sure that's really what's going on.
Exactly.
So I really need answers on that.
Yeah, that has to happen. I don't think we need to see any of them beforehand, because from what we understand, they were kind of like they didn't have powers until the earthquake from when they came back from the future arc. So that's fine. That's pretty good, right? The whole stuff with Enma's backstory is nice. The build up, the fact that we found out that it was David Spade, love it. One of the best like foreshadowing.
Yeah,
moments.
the whole thing with like it's like, oh, Tsuna, your dad is the one who killed him and all that too. That sets up a good moment too.
Bro, the Hibari scene is like, it's not your pride because you can't give it up. It's the fact you can't give it up that makes it your pride. That like chef's kiss, like that. All that stuff will stay.
I don't like Hibari that much, but like, all right, bro, you kind of spit.
He was cooking, bro. He was cooking. Oh, that is probably Hibari's best arc, because he's like, oh, little animals are pretty dangerous. I'm gonna beat you with this little animal. Hibari's cousins with what's her name? The Storm Arcobaleno. Fawn, right?
Fawn? I don't know if he's cousins with them, and we do know they are related in some way, but he didn't say, because like Fawn was like, oh, Hibari wouldn't like me talking about it, and he doesn't say how they're related.
Oh,
it's just like, okay, but you are related somehow, because like everyone's like, Fawn as an adult does look a lot like Hibari.
He looks like Hibari with a ponytail. Like, it's like, okay, so
right, and it's like, okay, so you are related somehow, but you just don't want to tell us. Like, I honestly, I don't even need to know how you're related, like, but like, at least kind of like bring it up in some way. Yeah, I think like years ago when I made like the explaining the Dying Wolf Flames video, that was years ago, I was talking about how like there was like in the filler arc with like the events aren't canon, but I always take it like everything we learned about the characters are canon.
Yeah,
there's a moment where like Skull uses his cloud flame to basically buff up his body and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool, because like it's just it takes the cloud flames, the propagation, and it just multiplies the muscles basically. And it's like, oh, that's such a cool idea. And I was like, what if that's like the reason why Hibari's so strong? He's just kind of doing that, but like he doesn't even know it. And it's like you could literally just mention that. That's it. Just in passing, Reborn himself could just think that like, oh, he's using his flames to like make himself stronger. It's like, but I don't know if he knows he's doing that. That's all you need to do, and that would like just make it so much better for me, because there's no real reason why he's so strong.
He's tough because he's that guy. Nah, that's not.
He's just that guy.
The sin and pride, like that stuff, like that in the Varia Arc, that should have been mentioned. That should have been mentioned. Like, if whoever wins the Varia Arc gets that, because the fact that it's like, oh, this sin, you'll get the sin of the thing, and it could even have been a thing where how Tsuna had those flashbacks in the future arc where he's seeing all the people that are dying. That should that should be the result of getting the sin or pride. That should be kind of something like that. Because the sin.
I'll say, well, to get it, he has to like accept the position and stuff. So I understand him. He probably wouldn't get it, but like maybe it's being mentioned. Like, if you become it, you get the rings and all this, and then you get like, this little thing. Maybe they just show it like the vial of the blood and stuff.
Exactly.
They don't really say what it is, maybe. But it's like, okay, but it's very important.
Yes, that would be
even
good.
Like a lot of people don't even know about it.
Yeah, I think
so. They need to do that.
If they're gonna, I think the 9th like Guardian we should see them more often. Like, we should see them before this time, I think. Yeah. Maybe not.
They need to be seen. They need to be seen definitely during the Varia Arc, because like the 9th gets taken, and it's just like, where are they?
Where were y'all niggas at, man? Where were y'all at, bro? Because that
at least show a scene of them looking for him.
He was gone, bro. He was like in a robot for like 4 episodes. They were just not doing anything.
We don't know how long he was stuck in that thing. And it's like, bro.
Funny.
You're
So
like, where y'all looking?
the for Mukuro, I think we didn't touch on him too much. Maybe for him, we could kind of see what he did because he the fact that Vendice be on his case, we know what he did, but I think it would have helped us to see how.
I mean, yeah, we know why he's there, but like we can see it.
like yeah, throw the key away. He should be in jail. I ain't gonna lie, but just to see that would be nice.
I mean, yeah.
Besides, I think that's good though.
Too. I guess maybe some more things with Chrome I would like too.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I get it, But like at the beginning, she's really just kind of there for Mukuro to show up, and it kind of sucks because
she don't.
I would like to see more of her.
Yeah, especially when she joins soon to school. Like seeing her doing her own thing would be cool. Are there any like side characters that like at least prior to the Curse of the Rainbow arc that you thought we got more spotlight of?
I definitely like to see more Bianchi, even maybe a little more Shamal kind of too.
Oh, Shamal would be tough.
Bianchi had a whole thing too. So I'm saying, and like with Bianchi, it was a whole thing like, oh, she can turn anything she touches into poison, and it shows up like they kind of use it for the, when they're at Mukuro's base and all that, raiding it when she touches MM's flute and all that. Yeah. And then after that, she just kind of just done, and that was it, And it's like I understand it in the Varia arc, she's kind of protecting like Nana and Haru and everyone too. That makes sense. I'm fine with that, Future arc, she could have been fighting, She could have,
especially future Bianca can't, Bianca can't fight. Like, come on, that's cap. She can do something, but
I'm saying, like, she definitely could have fought. I will say, like, I know Shamal's dead in the future arc. I'd be fine with he's still dead. But
is that confirmed?
If they decided to change that, definitely, yeah. See, I think like Bianchi talks about that, and it's like, oh, where'd you learn? It's like, oh, a friend taught me, and then it like shows like a picture of like Shamal. And it's like kind of like hinting at like, no, he died because like Byakuran's killing everybody. Well, someone after everyone.
Yeah,
so, like, and I definitely could see him beating Shamal. Like, yeah. So
you said, let me get him.
I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine. The Curse of the Rainbow, I think it might after the daily life arc, it might be the most troubled arc because they handle a tight line, right? Where we're looking at the Arcobaleno. With the present, please, where they get their adult forms, we need to see it. I think we got to see them pretty much mostly once for the most part, except for like Reborn got twice.
I think we got to see everyone do it.
Can we like
besides Uni because Uni just grows every day, so she's fine.
So I think if we could see them all one more time would be cool. I know that they didn't want to do it too many times to ruin the effect of it because every time we saw Reborn as an adult was really cool. But I think showing them one more time all each would be nice. Maybe even working together would be that would be raw. I think that would blow everyone's mind.
I know a moment where like just two of them just team up.
Oh, two. You're right.
I need to because like that's what I'm saying because we have the moment where Fawn's fighting Mammon or Viper. That's already kind of cool. Just two Arcobalenos going against each other. I need to see that. That sounds awesome. But then two Arcobalenos working together? No, that's gonna be the best thing ever.
Imagine Coleno and Reborn. It's like the two snipers. Like for what? Like the gunslingers? No, we need that.
So it's like, and because like I don't think Colinella used all his time either. Because when he first does it, he's sniping on the edge, going against Byakuran and all that. But like he turns it off before he all runs out. Yeah. But I don't remember him doing it the second time.
I think he only did it once.
No, because his team got out. That's what happened. Yeah.
They hold him.
His team got knocked out, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah, run them back again. We gotta see them again.
So that's another thing. With the Simone family, they kind of like obviously, when Skull first does it, they don't want to do it, and it's like, oh, it's just Enma and them, and Enma kind of goes against Varia Arc. Kind of wish he did a little better in that fight, I guess. But like,
didn't he? I thought he took care of, or he got jumped. I feel like he did get jumped. It was like 4 of them.
Yeah, it was like 5 of them.
Yeah, it wasn't like, besides Zinx. I think it was all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that, but like, I don't know. This is the guy who was like taking care of,
whooping
Tsuna and Thorny and Aaron this arc just from that one part of it, and that wasn't even like their full power at that moment too. And like they were also there. Like, so I feel like he could have done a little better.
The Simone family,
cool moment, Skull shows up, uses his thing and shows off his undying body and all that. He tanks their attack. That's awesome.
That was cool tough. Too. Yeah.
Other than that, then it's like, okay, the Simone family's gonna help, and then they just immediately lose, and we don't actually see them.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the Simone family's like. I was literally gonna say that their role in the series, that last arc, wasn't as big as it should have been, and also I feel like they got like power crept because like they were so crazy the last arc, and they're like now kind of okay. Like they're not, what I'm saying? They're like they seem like Suna's like team's low bro when Tsuna and them had to evolve to beat them or to hang with them and win some of those battles. So yeah, they can do a little more. Bermuda was done really well. I think Bermuda being like not shown was great because it's like, whoa, there's another beautiful. I'm trying to think.
Because you see him like in the inheritance ceremony, like you first see him during that flashback when the Vinda show up for the first time and Reborn's like, whoa, like who was that?
That
like,
baby.
Was there a baby, that's in the Vindas and all that. So him coming back here is like actually really cool.
Yes. So Talbot, like the Talbot thing where he figures out the ring, like where he figures out the solution, like that one's kind of hard because. And I think it's hard because because the whole dog's death thing where we wanted I'm gonna die dog's death was great, right? We knew that was great. Obviously, we know we don't want Reborn to die. We don't want the main cast to be Arcobaleno. But like Talbot being like, oh well, here's the solution. Like you mean to tell me no one ever came to Talbot or someone like Talbot was like, "Can you fix this?" Like no, like literally, we're talking about Checkerface and
Bartho. Kind of just came out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
honestly, like in the whole inheritance era, he kind of comes out of nowhere. I like his little thing where it's like, oh, they say he's been around since like. Primo and stuff. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
I'd like to know a little more about him.
Yeah, he should get some stuff too.
I kind of like it though, like how they do it, because it's like he says like the reason why he's able to solve it is specifically because Bermuda, like with like the night flames when they keep doing the short warping thing, how he makes like the continuous circle of it and it can just accelerate infinitely. He's like, yeah, I need that specifically to do it. So I kind of like how it's like. He would not have been able to solve this if Bermuda would not have helped.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's no way Checkerface and Bermuda would have done it. And yeah, okay, that's fair. So Checkerface when he's here, we're like, oh snap, that was Checkerface. Like, oh this, like that would make like looking at the series. Then when you rewatch Reborn, you're watching for Checkerface, for Checkerface in random scenes. That would increase the replayability of the series a lot more.
Stress the arc out because like obviously it feels so rushed because I guess showing the jump and all, it was like, okay, it's got to end, so kind of had to rush through the end. But with an adaptation in anime, you don't have to do that. You can take your time now.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you can really go back and do some things you maybe wanted to do at first but didn't do it, and then flesh out a few more things.
Yes,
like, that'd be really cool.
Like we might even need to double the length of this last arc, or maybe not double. It's a bit harsh, but
maybe we'd get more fights.
For
that's
sure.
Why like all these things just kind of happen so short. So many teams got out so fast. It's like, okay, we gotta hurry up.
Exactly.
But like maybe she wanted this thing. Maybe she did want the Arcobalenos to team up together, but like it was like, oh, I don't think I have enough time to do it.
Facts.
So I just had to cut it.
Yeah, and then even like I think it was one Xanxus in the Varia. The fact that Xanxus and seemingly all of them have a cambio forma. I know we're not gonna care about everyone's cambio forma, but like Squallow seeing his would be good. And then can we see more of Xanxus?
Because like we saw with some Xanxus, it was like, oh, we got our rings upgraded and all that. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like that's a cool thing to do. We only really saw Xanxus do it. Yeah,
just the one time. And then Tsuna versus his dad could be a bigger fight because if we're showing Tsuna and like Tsuna, like it'll be the thing where someone's like, well, Tsuna, what about you? Who's your father? And he's like, I don't know, but I hate that guy. We could like maybe not hate the guy, but he like. No, I think he thought he was dead, but sometime throughout the series, he
really doesn't like his dad.
Yeah, because when we first see him, he's like, "Yo, he's a deadbeat."
He doesn't like him before, like when he's like alive and all that, and he doesn't like him after he finds out he still is alive.
Exactly. So Tsuna could be like, I don't like Tsuna. Tsuna's like he's more of a chill guy. Tsuna could be the times that he's not chills when he's like, "Yo, my dad." Like, he could have a disdain for his father on some like. I don't know. Pick a person who hates their father in anime. Just pick
because that's what it is like in the manga. He really says like, "No, I like despise this man."
The Reborn anime selling me. I didn't notice.
But he really does not like him.
So yeah, I mean,
it's so weird. He really doesn't like him. And honestly, I think because of that, a lot of the fan base doesn't like it. Honestly, I kind of like him too. I definitely don't hate him. I don't think he's that bad.
Yeah, I rock with him, bro. He's cool. He's cool, bro. He fights with his fists. Like, nah, he's cool, bro. I can't. But you can have the first fight be like, I can finally beat him.
I definitely keep they definitely need to keep the first fight how it is though.
Yeah,
like, where it's just like Tsuna punches him, it's nothing. Then Mitsu just hits him one, and then boom, that's it. Like, you need to keep that though.
Yeah,
they don't even do nothing with that. That's good.
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like the second fight also can works pretty well because it shows like Tsuna's still not as strong as like his dad, but it's like with Reborn's teaching and the present please, like he was able to show him like, yo, you can do way better than you thought. Like, but basically just have more like emotional baggage behind the fights. And like Tsuna only is able to do better in the second fight because he doesn't care. He has to basically. I think Reborn even says it. He's like, bro, you've been kind of treating your dad like he's like garbage. You basically like kind of making little. You have to look at your father like that nigga is a fighter.
It's like you need to understand like he's lived longer than you. He's done better. He's done more than you. Like, you know.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we gotta do it. So more Arcobaleno stuff, more Varia, their cameo formulas, all that.
I guess Kaoru from Simone family. We never actually see his dying will flame either. I don't think we even know the name of it. So like they definitely need to put that in there at least. Either if they don't do it in the Inheritance arc, at least do it in this one where like Simone family are actually fighting. We finally get to see what he's doing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff we need to see because I think it was him and who did Damon Spade control? I never knew what was his name.
It was Julie. He had like the desert flame, and I was it's basically Miss Flame, basically.
Yeah,
like, and that makes sense because the desert mirages and all that. I do like that.
So let's see those. I want those two.
We can finally see Julie fight too.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at. Like seeing those two fight. You can even have them be the forefront, and like just because they didn't get a fight in the last arc.
Maybe they can have a little character moment where they're kind of thinking back on the past arc too. Like
exactly. And then I think the last two things we can cover. So one, I think Ultimate Dying Will Mode is amazing. I loved it, and it's hard to do it before this time just because of how the form is. But I would say
I definitely don't think you could.
You couldn't. I think what they could do instead, you know how when Tsuna was learning when he was about to hit Hyper Dying Will Mode, Reborn was like, we could see your hyper intuition was starting to evolve. Like when he saw that Lancia wasn't Mukuro and he was doing stuff like that, you know, he was kind of peeping. His intuition was getting better. Yeah. You could do that where Tsuna's like fighting, and then like not like it wouldn't even be a sudden change where it'd be like Reborn could do the same moment. You know, it'd be like throughout the fights. You know, since the future arc, you've been getting like. You know, you've been getting stronger, and it's like your will's is just increasing intensely. They kind of did touch upon how like all these moments have been leading up to this, but just maybe flesh on it a little bit, like
you know,
a form stronger.
Yeah, it was like Reborn doesn't care about lifting the curse. You know, he just wants Tsuna to get better, and it's kind of like he's been steadily improving.
Exactly,
like, kind of like a moment like that.
And or even like you could even mention it kind of like the super, like you know, like Super Saiyan was like this lore that we didn't know existed. It could be a thing where it's like the ultimate Vongola or the ultimate technique in the Mafia that no one knows about because Bermuda has Ultimate Dying Will Mode. That's what he did. That was told, right? So it's clearly a thing that you can awaken regardless of who you are. You know.
I don't think Bermuda had Ultimate Dying Will Mode. The thing is, like, he basically made the Flame of Night. I know that because he got to the state where almost like perfect dying will mode basically because he literally became one with despair and it made a new flame. And that was like kind of what Tsuna said at the end too, like, oh, your flames are made out of despair, mine are made from hope. Which kind of almost makes it sound like he made a new flame in that moment too to me.
Because I thought that in that scene he says
cool, you know, they basically saying like Bermuda was like at the peak of like dying will mode basically,
exactly,
like, or dying will specifically, not in a mode, but like, and it's like Tsuna now reached that level at the end too.
Exactly. So yeah, they're in similar things. So I think that would be cool to see. The fight was great. Maybe make it a little longer just so we can see my boy Tsuna get in his bag.
Because like the fight against like Jaeger, that was so long. Tough. That was such a good fight. I love all of that, dude. I've never seen someone use teleporting so raw.
It was so raw, bro.
It was like, oh, I love it. Like when it's like, oh, don't worry, I'll make shields for her back, and then he just teleports his hand and just goes right through Byakuran. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah, now
you got it. You just win,
bro. Jaeger was like that when it was first of all, what I loved about it was, you know how like each arc was like had a villain. I'm pretty sure he fought all like the main villains or like the heavy hitters because it was Hibari. I know Xanxus was there.
Because like when they made the dream team, it was Mukuro, Xanxus, Byakuran, Dino was there, Squall was there too.
That's some of our best, bro.
All of them. That was crazy. Then Mukuro and Hibari showed up, and he was still fighting.
Yeah. So that was great. Don't change that.
I know. Then Tsuna finally had to show up, and it's like, all right, now we figured it out. And also, they figured out, you know, they were kind of cheating with like, you know, he doesn't have like, he can't make his own flames. He needed Bermuda for it and stuff.
Exactly.
And after that, we finally realized, okay, yeah.
The Arcobaleno secret is probably the best. Yeah. That fight is just peak. But yeah, the Arcobaleno secret is peak. I think that no changes needed for that. The last
few chapters, it kind of almost goes back to like a daily life thing with like, oh, Lal and Colonello. They said they're gonna get married and all that too, and they're like, oh, who you gonna marry, Tsuna? and then that happens. It's like, oh, actually allowing that Mark getting married, they had to fight and all that. It's been postponed or whatever.
Yeah, so
it's weird. It's such a weird timing for that to happen. Like, maybe you can, I can see, like, the final episode, you can kind of mention the whole wedding thing, like, oh, my uncle and Ella are getting married and all that, like. So I like how they took it to where it's like they did it in between the arc as like cool down episodes, as I like to call them.
Yeah,
I would really like to see that too, because I like moments where it's just like, we just see the characters when they're not in these crazy situations.
Yeah.
So I would like for them to keep that, and you can just put like the whole, who's he gonna marry thing during that before the final arc, and then I'd just be fine with that.
Do you think Tsuna should ever be declared Vongola Decimo? That's a big question, I think.
With how, I'm gonna say no. Because, like, I don't think he does. At least not at this point. I don't think he needs to. Because, like, I kind of like how the story is, where it's just like he doesn't want to do it, so he just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with him. I'm fine with him not becoming it, But if he, like, actually decides on his own that he wants to do it, then yeah, I'd be fine with that too. But I feel like with like this ending, I'd be fine without him doing it.
Okay. Because I think that I don't like the fact that he goes like, oh, if you're not gonna be the 10th, then I'll leave, and he comes back and he's like, here's his new role. Like, it did kind of feel like, oh, we're looping the series.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. I don't really like that either.
I think like to what you were saying, it could be a thing where as soon as like, I'll never be the Vongola, and then like the 9th is like the 9th is like talking to Reborn. Reborn's like, yeah, he's an idiot. He doesn't get how important it is. And 9th is like, no, it's okay, because him deciding to not be the 10th is like exactly what the 10th would do. Like, he doesn't have to have the title. I think Tsuna could. We've already seen that Tsuna can do everything the 10th Vongola needs to do. He just wouldn't have the title. And he's like, and the 9th would be like, maybe when he's old he'll understand what he needs to do. Like, that could be a good way to end the series. Where
maybe when he grows up, maybe he'll change his mind and decide it. But like, until then, I'm fine with him just not being it.
It could be a thing where like, yeah, like he's better athletically. Like, so someone's like, I think it's a dodgeball scene.
You've done all this and you haven't gotten better.
Like, bro, like they throw a ball Tsuna. You've used ultimate Daigubo. You could dodge them. Things like that. But then still he's feeling exams. He's like, bro, I feel like I haven't improved. And then like Gokudera's like, what do you mean? You're so much better at this, this, and this. And he's like, you're right. And then Reborn's like, Tsuna can be like, yo, a lot has changed. Like, I'm still not where I want to be in terms of life, but I'm only 14 years old. Like, I've gotten way better at these things, and most of all, I have all my friends. Series over. That's tough,
Exactly. Because like I like it, but like again, yeah, I just need little changes. Even like his grades, like again, they don't need to be great, but like maybe what if like instead of like 22s or whatever he was getting, he is like now getting like 50s or something. So it's like a more of a lesson of like little changes. Like you don't need to all of a sudden just be like completely different. No, you just need to be working or getting better every day. Slowly making your way up, kind of.
Exactly.
That just be great.
I think like these changes would make Reborn like, I think it'd be like, yo, people would look at Reborn and be like, is this one of the best series of all? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that it's not even, I don't even think there's that many changes too.
Like, it's really just a bunch of small things that really adds up. Cause like, again, the manga does a lot of good things, and I like how it's like, it obviously was like more of a daily life thing, but like she kind of takes things from it and puts it into the future and almost make it kind of feels like, wait a minute, it almost feels like, this was all planned out in a way.
Exactly.
So, like, I like all those moments. So like, but if we got a few more of those, then like it's really just great.
Yeah, I think that's what it would be. This is pretty long of a video, I can't lie, but we had to get a lot done, and I'm glad we did. I like how I don't know what we can call it, but how the Reborn remaster or the RR ended up looking. But yeah, in the comments, let us know what things you think are important for a Reborn remake, or what things you think needed to be fixed or changed up and whatnot. Is there any things in the remake you think we missed out on?
No, I think we got everything. Went through the arcs, through basically everything uncensored. I guess a good studio is really just what would really like make it all come together. We just need a really good studio for it.
And then lastly, Yogi, do you have any videos you have in the queue or anything you're preparing? You want to let the people know about before we wrap up?
What have I been preparing? First, honestly, I'll say I was kind of busy with some stuff, so I wasn't working too much on it. But I wrote a couple things down, like even just non-Hitman Reborn things. I had a Call of Duty story kind of video planned out. Had one on a game franchise called To the Moon planned out. But like other than that, I just continued I was making custom Yu-Gi-Oh decks for Hitman Reborn characters, so that'd really just be the next Hitman Reborn video I'd dude.
Whoa. Custom Yu-Gi-Oh decks for Reborn. Two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
We will be there. We will be
I've
there.
already made one for Goku there, and I made one for Ryohei, and I have those 2 videos already out. I already have decks for Ukuro, Lambo, Habari, even Yamamoto and stuff. I just don't have the videos out.
I bet. Okay, but I got some videos to catch up on now. But thank y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Yogi. His channel will be in the description, and definitely check out if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh or if you watch Reborn. Check out his channel for sure. He got some other stuff that he's obviously told you he's got planned up. So yeah, but that's it from us. But we're out. So peace.
See you.